Hey, it's Colin here again. Today's project is building a fruit salad app where you get to create a bowl of fruit and, well, should we just get on with it? So we should know the routine by now. We're going to go to the Raspberry Pi projects. We're going to select on Code Club, come down to looking after yourself, fruit salad. Today I'm going to do it all online. But if you want to do it offline, don't forget you'll need to download something, which I'll show you in a minute. So what we'll be making today is an app that allows you to add fruit to a bowl. So I think that's apple, grapes, peaches, bananas, and slices of melon. And to add them into my bowl, we just click in the bowl, and you can add add apple. To make them bigger, we press the plus sign. Looks like an egg. I think it's meant to be a grape, but let's put some eggs in our bowl. The minus sign will make it go smaller. Put some of those in there. And oh, what's that? Oh, that's banana. Well, this button will allow us to spin the banana piece of banana around. Let's add some bananas. And just to complete the set of fruit, let's put some wedges of melon in our bowl. So that's what we're making today. What are you going to need? You're going to need on or offline Scratch. If you're going to do the offline Scratch, don't forget you'll need to download the starter project file and then to load that into your offline program. Today you're going to learn a number of things: how to use the podcast, how to use broadcast, and the when I receive message blocks to communicate between the different sprites and the stage. How to use the pen extension blocks to stamp sprites, and then how to add code to the stage. Let's get going, shall we? Right then. Stamping fruit. So we're going to use one of the extension blocks that Scratch has, and if I'm going to click on the starter project, I'm going to pull that down from my toolbar and then make that go to the right hand side. So that's Windows right arrow key in case you'd forgotten. And then make this one here go Windows left arrow key. And then squidge that over. So we've got the instructions on one side. If you're just following it through with me, you obviously don't need the instructions. But then the link will give us the bare essentials we need for our starter project. We've got a bowl and we've got a piece of melon there already. So we've got two sprites on our screen at the moment. Let's have a look at the costumes for the fruit one. So ingredients, we've got some apple. Oh, it was a grape, a peach, and a banana. So we've got a number of bits of fruit they've given us already. And then we've got a menu, which is it's a bit of paper covering up the tablecloth. So it's this part of the screen here, onto which the fruit is being placed for selection. So this is where we're going to be making our menu for what you can do, the plus and the minus buttons. Okay, so the first thing we're going to need is the first thing we're going to do then is select the stage and then go to the code tab. So we're going to go to the stage, select the stage. So here's our stage, and then select the code block. And we need add in a new control we haven't seen before. So this is when the stage is clicked. So this is going to make it so that when we click on the stage, it's going to do something. And we're going to use broadcast message 1. And so that's going to be broadcast message 1, which is that one there. Drop that on there. change the message here to be new message. So we're going to make it one of our own message. And we're going to call this add fruit. They say just add. I like to have my variables, my messages mean something. So when I look at them, I actually know what it's doing. Okay, add fruit. So the idea is when we click on the bowl, it's going to add fruit into our bowl. Now select the ingredients sprite and go to the code tab. So here's our ingredients sprite, and we're on the code tab already. And on this one, we say when we add fruit, which is under the events block. And now the next thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to add an extension. So Scratch comes with like a basic setting for Scratch, and then there are some other things you can add on. So come down to the two lines down here where it says add extension down here. And the extension we want is the pen extension. But whilst we're here, just look at the number of things that it's going to allow. It can allow us to connect to. Some video sensing. We can connect microbits. We can connect Lego Mindstorm machines, and we can get it to do translations as well and play music. We'll try and cover some of those on other activities. But today we want the add pen extension option. So this gives us a number of different things that we can do with our program, and the one we want is the stamp one. So bring that onto our desktop. So we need to add into our block, we need to go to mouse pointer. So that'll be under motion. Go to mouse pointer, stamp, plop, and then go to a position. I guess the position is going to be back at the start, but let's grab the go to. That's nearly what we've got there, -172 to 122. So now I think if I click in the bowl, that's me clicking and adding loads of bananas to the bowl. The ingredient sprite moves from the menu to the mouse pointer, creates a stamp, and then moves back to the menu. It happens so quickly you don't see it happening. So when I click in there, the code's gone back to pick the next fruit and then be able to stamp it. And there's a tip here that in all projects, if you're using the stamp things, always make sure they go on top of backdrops but underneath sprites. So the next thing is we need to make sure that our bowl is clear at the start. So on the ingredients tab, we're going to go to the going to get the events when the green flag is clicked. And back to our pen block extension, clear all, erase all. So now if I click on there, that's all the bananas have been removed. So in effect, we're creating a rubber stamp that we're going to go to the bowl and we're going to stamp the fruit into the bowl. And then when we press the green flag, that's going to clear the board. Save our project. What we should do actually is we should remix this project first. So that remixing means gives you a copy on the online version. Fruit salad by Colin. So this is saved in my Code Club account. Right, so now we're going to go on and see how we're going to go about. Because at the moment all we can do is we can just add bananas. Not everybody likes bananas, so we're going to add some code now that makes it so when you click on the banana, it changes to the next fruit. So we go to events when this sprite is clicked, and under looks we just pick the next costume. Test it as you go along. So you can either click on here and look, it's changing through, or you can click on the block of code there. It doesn't matter while we're doing testing, but always make sure you test as you go along. And does it work in the bowl? Yes, that's us adding apples. Let's put some eggs in the bowl. And then make sure that the erase all also works either by clicking on here or on the green flag at the top. So that's pretty good. Save now. Right, we're going to add a grow button now. So to add a grow button, we're going to create a button. So we're going to go to a sprites and choose a sprite from the file. Let's do a search for button, and they recommending we use button 3. Oh, we've got a button in the fruit bowl at the moment. Let's drag it over to our menu, and we want to rename this one to be called grow, so we can rename our sprites down here and just type in there grow. And then we want to look at this sprite's costumes. Okay, there's nothing exciting really there about costumes. But what we want to do now is we want to add the plus sign to our key, onto our button. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to switch to text. We're going to select what color we want our button. Click in here, and we're just going to press the plus sign on our keyboard to make a plus sign. Now if I click away, and then it becomes highlighted, and then if I stretch the corner, we can make it really big, and we can add that onto the middle of our sprite like that. So now on the screen there you can see what it's going to look like. Going to go to the code tab now, and we want to broadcast grow when the sprite is clicked. So an event, when this sprite is clicked, broadcast message, click on there for new message, grow _ fruit. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to tell the ingredients that when they receive the message, they're going to change their size by 5. So come back to ingredients and bring in the when I receive grow fruit, and under looks we're going to change size by 5. Let's test that works. So if I click on the plus sign now, we should see our egg get bigger and bigger and bigger. And if I stamp in the bowl, we get loads of grapes added. Click on the fruit again, and that's changed. That's still changing. So let's add a piece of melon into our bowl as well. So that's looking pretty good. But what we haven't got at the moment is we haven't got a way of making them smaller, which will be the next step. Come back to my ingredients, just click on the green flag. Oh, Control Z, just if I move something out of the way there. Okay, so I've because I clicked on the menu bar, that's now hidden the buttons and the fruit. So what I can do, if I click on there and then send that back 1 level, so it's under looks, and I want to send it back, I think. Here we go. So it's because I clicked on the menu color there when it was active, that put itself above the grow and the selector button. So to get over that, just pick on the go to back layer and push. Make sure you've got the make sure you've selected the tablecloth, or the menu, sorry, the menu, and then make it go back. So to imitate what happened just then, what happened is I made it so that it came in front of my fruit, and all I'm doing is I'm making it go back behind my fruit. All right. Next thing we do is I'm going to add a shrink button. So what we can do is we can either go and choose a sprite from our library, or we've got a sprite already with some code on it. So we could just duplicate that one, push this over here, look at the costume on that, click on our plus sign, swap it out, and then use the minus sign. I did a little bit of centering, but that's no big deal. So just push that back in there. So now we've got a button that's got minus sign on, but it's not making the fruit grow. It's not making the fruit shrink, it's making the fruit grow because we haven't changed the code yet. Before we do that, let's just change the name of our button to be shrink. Shrink. And look at our code. And we need to say, for this one, we need to do a new message. And we're going to call this shrink fruit. And on our ingredients tab, we need to do the same sort of thing. So I'm going to copy this block here. Just pop that there. I'm going to change that drop down there to shrink fruit. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to put a -5 in there, which means it will change its size by -5. So just test that works. Stamp, stamp, stamp. Let's have some melon, I think. Okay, so I think we've done all the instructions they were giving us there in the side panel. So that's our grow and our shrink. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a button that allows us to rotate our fruit. So let's go and grab our button. So this time we'll just go and get another button from the library. It was that button there. Let's rename it now. Rotate. And we're going to draw a circle on our button with an arrow on the end. So click on our button. Oops, let's put it in the right position. It's down there. Try and get them lined up nicely. Go to our costume. We're going to select the paintbrush option. We can select a color. I'm going to stick with the color I've got at the moment. And we're going to draw. It might be a bit thick, so I'll just change the thickness of my brush. We're going to draw a circle like they're drawing in the video thing there, around like that, with like an arrow on the end of it. There you go. We know what it means. And then on the code for this one, we're going to add another event that when this sprite is clicked, we're going to broadcast another message, and this message is going to be rotate fruit. Click on OK. And then can you think what we're going to do now to make the fruit rotate? Yes, we're going to go back to the ingredients. We're going to add when I receive message, when I receive rotate fruit, I'm going to turn right through 45 degrees. So under motion, there's the arrows going the same way that we drew our arrow. We're going to turn through, and we're just going to change that to be 45 degrees. Does it work? Well, let's see. We've got a piece of melon picked at the top of the moment there. If I click this button here, look, our melon is turning around. It should also turn around if we click on the button that we've created, so that's good. I'm going to go into my fruit bowl, I'm going to stamp it. I'm going to change my fruit to a piece of apple. Let's make the apple a bit bigger. And click on the fruit again. My eggs are really big, aren't they? Let's just reduce it down to grape size. Okay, so that's a nice healthy bowl of fruit. Save our project. And if you want to share what you created, now's a chance. Well, you can add some other things to the fruit bowl as well. So let's just say imagine you wanted to add something else to the fruit bowl. So let's click on our ingredients, and we've got 5 different costumes at the moment available to us. Let's just be a little bit silly, shall we? Let's say we wanted to add an orange to our basket. So that's now added as another costume on our fruit. So now when we press the green flag, we'll clear the bowl. Let's press the plus sign, and that's our piece of our orange getting bigger. So that's pretty neat. If you really wanted to be really silly, you could add something else in there, couldn't you? You could just do something really completely and utterly daft. Oops, what have I done? I've done that in the wrong place. I've put that onto my menu button. So let's do undo. Oh, right. What happened then was I wasn't watching what I was doing. I need to make sure I select my ingredients and then go and get my choose a costume and choose a costume. And it was diamond, wasn't it? Crystalline and crystal. So now I've got a crystal in my bowl. Don't know why you don't want to eat crystals, but I can still make the crystal bigger. And I can stamp in my bowl and change my fruit like this, make that smaller. Let me know how you get on with that. If you want to share it, then don't forget you can press the share button. Make sure you turn off commenting online, and then copy the link at the top and paste that into Facebook. The next project is going to be looking at relax and stretch, which is making a video about doing some exercise. Well, that was quite a short project today. You don't have to stick with doing as the instructions. You can obviously add your own things to the fruit bowl, and if you want to share, do share, and please let me know how you get on. Okay, see you on the next one. Bye.